So let's review. Someone out there is pulling strings to manipulate pretty much everybody who's even thinking of looking at it, and they're very good at it and have a lot of experience with it. And everyone's falling for it, including me. I made a mistake today. I probably made more than one mistake today, but mistake concerning this. So we'll review really quickly. On a channel that was originally named Beautiful Planet and run by a person who goes under the name Paul Flores, Dark Sky Watcher, your mom, rebuilt the page and made a bait posting page out of it and named it Mrs. Dark Sky Watcher 74. And also the original page, which was apparently the real original Miss Dark Sky Watcher's page, has also been altered in the About page. But not the Google+. Okay. Now, what is this all about if anybody's curious? This is a person two people, a man and a woman, who were in a divorce, and the female contacted a flaming dragon in a flaming dragon in Texas. Wouldn't want to put him in the wrong state of mind. California, no, it's Texas. And did a interview saying that all sorts of terrible things had happened between herself and the married person. And now, supposedly, the channel that was supposed to be the confirmation channel is now posting on that original channel and this channel that's been repurposed, saying some nasty things. But the original channel that we're talking about, the Beautiful Planet one, said, and this is the quote you type into Google to find the only other copy of that kind of data, because somebody cut and pasted because they were too lazy. I mean, I do the same thing. It's a good idea to make it standard so your search engine optimization is good. But if you're going to try to be sneaky and claim to be your own ex-wife, this was dumb. I will be uploading all my drone aerials here on this channel. That's unique enough that if you put it in quotes, you'll only find a couple of locations. As well as nature video. Nature videos. Grammar, man. Hopefully all of you send in your clips from around the world, and when I put that sequence in, or any part of it if I put it in quotes, it Googled only to Paul Flores, aka Dark Skywatcher, on his Facebook page called facebook.com/beautiful-planet-2044, etc. ad nauseum cacciatorium. I'll just include the quotes below. You can find it yourself. It's already been archived. In fact, I couldn't get the cached copy, but the image data result, when you type it into Google, when you just put in the URL for the channel that's been renamed and remarked and membered as Mrs. Dark Skywatcher, that starts with UCJK and ends with ZPQ, when you look it up on Google, it only shows that it was originally Dark Skywatcher's channel. Now, why is this happening right now? This was a very recent change, obviously, otherwise Google wouldn't still have it in the cache. It takes about a week for it to clear that cache. Well, anyway, here's what it says. The Flaming Dragon of Texas went on a slander campaign against my husband. No, Dark Skywatcher, you're claiming that you're your own husband. That's like marrying a chair. It doesn't work legally. I mean, we have an open society here. But anyway, here we go. He called it, the Flaming Dragon of Texas, called it a defunding campaign. So I did what any woman with a psychology degree would do. Skywatcher, if you're claiming to be a woman with a psychology degree, you need to go visit a woman with a psychology degree. You don't have a degree. You don't even have Celsius here. Next. I play mind games. He threatened my family. No one threatened your family. Again, you're saying you're your own wife. Luke, I'm your father and your cousin. So anyway, I got a free all-expenses paid for multi-state vacation as well, and used the Flaming Dragon of Texas subscribers to fund the defunding campaign. Now, on the original channel it was supposed to be, again, this actual person, it now says pretty much the same thing. Trouble with this, of course, is that this is not actually that channel. Now, both channels could have been acquired by just guessing passwords or whatever by Mr. Shedwatcher here. That's fine. Now, what does this all have to do with, and I'm going to put it in the video, none of you need to look at this unless you know exactly what the first line's about. Well, what is this actually all about? Well, it's really simple. The dirty half dozen I talked about. So let's talk about them, because, unfortunately, the Flaming Dragon of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas, has spilled the beans about Pete, and he hasn't brought up the other half dozen, so we got two here. We got Pete, the anti-Flaming Dragon. Interpol would love to know where you are in Spain. Contact me, Pete. Then we have the Crossroads, a certain GeoCities vampire I commonly call, blah, 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 Count Chocula. Yes, he was a GeoCities vampire. He was trying to be a goth. I'm more goth than you are. Seriously, dude. Go away. And learn how to pronounce and spell things. Blah, blah. Next. Who else? Okay. We got the Crossroads, the vampire, Pete, the Shed Watcher. Who else is it? Oh, yeah. Ben Time Traveler. How you doing? You've been very active recently trying to communicate and acting as a witness. So the Flaming Dragon in Texas gets manipulated by the same old crew. And so does WTF Sky and someone named Jake. Because they were having an effect, because they were really good at finding data sources, or at least posting cogent videos that explained how and why you shouldn't trust people who post websites and YouTube videos to make money off of ignorance. So, Logan, if you're watching, we all love you, but the Flaming Dragon of Texas then starts going after people because his buttons are being pushed. And so does WTF Sky, and so do Jake. Passion overrides the mind. Fear, anger, lack of information, ignorance. And we should throw in, I guess, ego. Lego my ego. So anyway, all this happens rather conveniently about the point when the Flaming Dragon of Texas, Logan, is gaining the capacity to become part of a group. Sort of like the Dirty Half Dozen, only they're all debunkers. And so does WTF Sky and Jake. Are both of you no longer really a part of something that was going to have an effect? Troll. Logan, are you part of Troll? Is this divide and conquer thing in your face enough? Now today my mistake was I assumed Pete was doing this, because every bit of this has all the earmarks of Pete, but it appears to be just that it was Dark Skywatcher's channel doing this. Now this is all drama and all very, very fun in games. I mean, these people really, really enjoy this on the Dirty Half Dozen side. But everybody flew off the handle instead of making nice and being a force to reckon with, and now everything is in flames, including an entire channel that deleted everything that was affecting their search engine ranking, which is all these other people care about, Flaming Dragon of Texas. And behind all of it in the past was Pete, who's terrified of Interpol, and he hasn't done anything. There's nothing going on with him. So, Pete, I'm sure you're not involved. Give me a comment below and tell me that now, as soon as you see this video. And if you don't see it, have Cheeky Chops do this. Oh, by the way, Pete and Cheeky Chops are probably the same channel, same person. And they contacted this WTF Sky a while ago, and myself and Daz the cameraman informed WTF Sky and Jake to not mess with them. And there's a bunch of brand new channels or recycled channels like this that are egging it on. Wow. I wonder if someone's going to try to convince me that I'm supposed to be in a fight with Logan or WTF Sky or Jake or Daz the cameraman. Assertions that have been made on the Flaming Dragon side that Daz the cameraman is really good at collecting data. Okay. Am I next? Is there going to be manipulation? Public disclosure. I gave information to the Flaming Dragon and to WF Sky that's nearly identical. I tried to get it balanced out, but I may have made a mistake. Why don't you two communicate with each other in the background and actually talk? And I recommend not communicating through Jake, because Jake may be a little bit passionate, and I don't know, but maybe they should. Maybe everybody should communicate quietly, under the radar. But this is me being out and proud. So, again, remessaging to the anti-Dragon Pete. You didn't like me, and I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go there. I want to have a nice time. So does everybody else. But I did notice that Jake mentioned Saul Alinsky and being told about it. If you're watching Jake, you'll notice a lot of that on a certain Count Chocula channel, who misspells the word cosmophobia 2 different ways. It was all about Saul Alinsky. A lot of these people used a certain Pete, Anti-Dragon, to host their pages, and then they all got kicked in the gut for it when they didn't toe a line. I'm sure that's not going on right now. So, can everybody stop being pawns in a game? I'm just sitting here without the popcorn, honestly. I'm wanting everything to go to where it works. Again, divide everybody, make them argue, push the right buttons, and say the same old things. And Jake and WTF Sky, you reposted something that is actually slander, that is full-on slander, that is invented slander. No public communications. Take everything down. Start over from scratch. Communicate with each other and tell each other exactly who pushed what button and when. And if you don't remember when it happened and who did it, go through your comment section and see if they suddenly disappear because they don't want you being able to track it. And if you like, you can send me the information. I can do some digging. It only took me 3 basic Google hack tricks to find out that the Miss Dark Skywatcher 74 channel, where someone claims to be someone's own wife, was actually put up by Dark Skywatcher. I wonder what else I can find. Or will all the roaches scatter in the light of day like they did last time? Oh, shout-outs to Dazzler the cameraman. I hope everything's okay at your end. And I hope you're just sitting there waiting for this all to clear up, too. I am. And my assertion from the previous video still stands. I don't think that this drama is something that you guys should have done. And now I'm very sure someone's manipulating it. So far, we only have Dark Skywatcher. And Jiggy Chops, a.k.a. Pete. I'm absolutely sure that the Crossroads isn't involved. I'm absolutely sure. The Ben Time Traveler, oh, he is. Okay. So none of you talked to somebody who couldn't spell cosmophobia to save his life, could you? You didn't talk to the Choculator, did you? Please say you didn't. To everybody else watching this, I'm going to put a link below in the video that just says go to 12 minutes and 25 seconds. If you're watching this part by skipping through the drama, this video was about a recycling of the same mind game that was done X number of years ago that resulted in a bunch of heartache and a bunch of wasted time for debunkers, because that was the entire plan the entire time. Let's get all back on task, and I will be as well. I won't be commenting on this unless absolutely necessary, and I gave a bunch of information to everybody involved that should know it, so that they know that they're being played like fools. Hopefully I'm completely right about this, because if I'm not, I don't know what's going on, but that's a normal status in my life. I never know. And I think that's the worst part of it. Never really knowing what's going on. And that's what's being done to everybody else, because the more you look, the less you understand. Sounds like the way you rope people into believing conspiracy theories in the first place and subscribing to your channel, doesn't it? So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that, and I hope everybody didn't get bored watching this. I hope you skipped to this part. I'll put up normal videos after this point. It's late. Bye.